was completely like, it happened suddenly. It was completely unplanned or anything. So basically the other place that I was living at, I was having issues with my landlord, and I was complaining to him a lot. And like, there was this day that we had gotten into an argument because I was just so tired of like everything that was going on. And that's when I really realized, like, okay, I could either keep complaining or I could try to leave and do something, you know, instead of, you know, when you're having issues somewhere, you could complain and complain and complain, but obviously you're not going to be taken seriously unless you get up and do something about it. So I feel like that was kind of like my last straw, because we were having issues for like weeks. And that's when I was just like, you know what, I need to leave. But then I told myself, like, when I leave the old place that I was at, I was like, when I leave, I want to live somewhere that I know I will be comfortable and I feel safe. And that's what I basically was praying to God about, because all throughout my life I've never really had a stable home environment. And I feel like this situation really there's something in my eye. I feel like this situation really pushed me to like actually try to live in a better apartment place. So after that argument, I basically, well, he was like if he basically was saying if I really just if I really have an issue with what's going on, then I might as well just leave. And I told him, like, yeah, I'm going to leave because I can't take this anymore. And after and when I had said that, I really didn't have the confidence that I was going to be able to move out, because I definitely didn't, like, the money that I had saved, I didn't have it saved for like getting a brand new apartment. I had it saved for like my bills and stuff. So I was just like, you know what, instead of me just using that money that I had saved for my bills, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use that to move into an apartment that I really want, that I know I will feel safe in. But throughout this entire process, I was basically just praying to God and asking God to really do something for me, because I just didn't know what move to make. So basically the apartment that I live in now, it starts with a certain letter. So I'm trying not to give it away, because I really do want to be safe and I don't want to give away where I live. But basically it starts with a certain letter, the place that I live at now. And I remember, like, after praying to God and everything, he told me the name, but I kind of got it mixed up in my mind, so I thought it was something else, but it still had like the same first letter and the same amount of letters, if that makes sense. So that's when I had went on Google and I was just like, what did I search again? I searched 1-bedroom apartment, Jersey City, and this place that I live in now popped up. It was like one of the first places. And the crazy part is, like, when I moved into this place and when I signed the lease and everything, I did everything without even seeing the apartment at all. So this really could have turned out bad. It really could have turned out bad. Like, things could have been terrible. Like, I could have just hated it. But I honestly, so far, I'm really loving this place, and like the amenities and everything, I feel like they're amazing. So after I saw this place, I was like, you know what, I'm going to apply. And then obviously when you do YouTube and when you're self-employed, and I do have other income besides YouTube, but obviously, like, when you are self-employed, sometimes when you are applying for apartments or other things, they aren't going to take your application into consideration, because it's kind of like there's no real stability or proof of your income being stable throughout the year, because when doing YouTube, like, the income could be up and down. So I decided that I was going to apply with guarantors. So that's what I did. And the website that I used was called The Guarantors, and if you guys want to use that website, I'll link it down below, because that, I feel like, definitely helped me to get into this apartment. So after I applied for this apartment, I applied with the guarantors, and that was already so much money. Like, but if you use the guarantors, you'll see that basically you have to pay like thousands of dollars, or it's a certain percentage that you're paying for. And I was just spending so much money, and I was like, God, like, this is so scary to me. Like, I am the kind of person that really likes to plan everything out. I don't like to just jump into things without seeing the full picture. And he was just telling me, like, I'm just gonna have to trust him. And even throughout like the process of me waiting to hear if I got approved for the apartment, I was literally having visions and dreams that God was giving me. So like, there was a certain view that I have when I walk to my building, and even like from the side of my building when I exit the end, like the, what is that area? Like, there's a certain area in my building where I exit, and I have this beautiful view of New York City. And I was even having visions of that. And I was just like, God, are you trying to tell me that I'm actually gonna get approved for this apartment? Or does this mean that I'm just dreaming too hard? And I remember one day I had woke up, and it was like, in my mind, I had automatically, when I woke up, I had this playing in my head, this verse that says, don't you know the plans that I have for you, plans to prosper you, and something else. And I was like, wow, like, I really believe that God is going to do this for me. And when I ended up moving out, I didn't give my landlord like that much time. And the crazy thing too was that while I was waiting for them to approve me for this apartment, I just kept telling them, like, please, like, I want to make sure that I leave before a specific date, because that's when my rent is due. Yeah, I was like, that's when my rent is due. I don't want to have to pay rent there and pay rent here, because that's just more money being wasted. And the guy at the leasing office, he was so helpful, and they were staying in contact with me every day. And I remember he was like, oh, well, I don't know if you're gonna be able to move in when you want to move in. I think he was saying that I would have had to wait like 5 more days to move out. So I was like, you know what, if this is really meant to be, I know that everything is going to work out in my favor. And it's just so crazy, because even like when I would be scrolling on TikTok and stuff, I would see videos of people prophesying, and they would be telling me things that would be so specific, you know, like how when you scroll on TikTok and sometimes you would see people talking about things that God says is gonna happen in your life. So I had those videos popping up, and then like when I would go out, I would see signs that would be like, do not fear, I am with you, and stuff like that. So I was just like, you know what, instead of me being fearful and thinking that the worst in this situation, I'm just gonna believe that God is actually gonna help me to get approved for this apartment. Before, like what I was saying before, like the leasing guy, he was telling me how something needed to be fixed. Like, remember in the video, I'm sure if you guys saw the video where I did the apartment tour, in the bathroom they needed to fix like the heater in the bathroom. And I remember like just thinking like, please, I really just want to be able to move in before I have to pay rent at my other place, because I feel like that's gonna be even more money being wasted. And at that point, I already felt like my bank account was just being sucked dry. So I remember waking up one day, and because this was something that I've been working on, I was like, every morning I would wake up and I would always like go straight to my email, or I would just, at first I would just pray, and I'd be like, God, I believe that I have your favor working in my life. Like, I know that I can trust you with all situations. And every time I would have a negative thought, I would combat it with a positive one. And this morning, the morning, oh yeah, I had another vision. No, it was a dream where I was basically signing a lease. So this was before they had approved me for the apartment. I had a dream of like the leasing paper, and I was like, oh my gosh, I think this really means that I'm so close to being able to sign the lease to this place. So when I had woke up that day, I had got the email that said, congratulations on your approval. And I was just so happy, because I really didn't want to stay at that place that I was at any longer. and I didn't know how I was gonna make anything happen. But it's just so crazy how throughout this whole process, God was showing me through dreams, through visions, and just through like everyday life, that he was actually with me and helping me throughout the entire process. And this also showed me that I, like, all throughout my life, when I would go through things, like if something would go wrong, or if or if something negative would happen, automatically I would be like, you see, like, I knew that this wasn't gonna work out. I knew that I couldn't, you know, trust this to happen for me. But throughout this process, I learned that no matter how things are looking, you have to continue to believe that God is going to make things work out for you. And I think that once you come into agreement with the negative, that's when the negative things will happen. But if you come into agreement with the positive things, that's when the positive things will happen. So even now that I'm here in this apartment, I just feel so grateful, and I feel like my relationship with God is even stronger because of this. And even though like that situation that I was in was so unfavorable to me, I was just so happy that it happened, because it helped me to build the faith that I need in God now. And even having that faith in him, it shows me how much faith I was lacking before. So now I'm gonna use what I learned in this situation to guide me throughout my entire life, basically, because I learned so much about myself and about God. And I just think that the entire process was just so crazy. And even though like the issues I was having with my landlord really like bothered me and basically made me leave, I still, when I had left, I was wishing him a great 2020. And the crazy thing too was that another thing that I didn't mention was that before I even knew where I was going to live, like before I even applied for places, I was packing up my apartment, and I was also buying things for my new apartment. And I was just like, God, this is me showing you that I have faith in you, and I trust that you are actually working on changing my situation. And then throughout that too, like there were times where I would be like, am I just being crazy right now? Am I just spending extra money when I don't need to? But I was like, you know what, like, God, I'm showing you that I believe in you. I believe that you are gonna change my situation. I'm not gonna live there anymore. I remember I even contacted this moving company, because I was like, I'm gonna need movers to help me. But I ended up just moving myself with a U-Haul with my brother and his girlfriend, and it worked out that way. And I'm so happy that it did. And the crazy part too is that the day that we were packing up my stuff to leave, we saw the landlord coming into the apartment building. And I was just like, this was when all of my stuff was already packed in the U-Haul truck and everything. And I don't think that my landlord thought that I would actually leave as fast as I did, because like I had told him the night before, I had told him like two nights before that I will be moving soon. And I don't think that he thought that it would be that soon. I didn't want to tell him the specific date or anything, but yeah, that's basically how my faith got me this luxury apartment. And I'm honestly so grateful to God for the entire process. It definitely helped me to grow a lot. And I think that in this video, the main thing that I want you guys to take away is that what you believe is what becomes your reality. And I realized that throughout my life, I always wanted to plan things. I always wanted to see the bigger picture. I always wanted to make sure that, you know, I saw everything from A to Z before I jumped into something. But I think that this showed me like, no, you don't always have to do that. Like, all you need is to trust God, and he's walking with you throughout the entire way. So if you guys are in a similar situation, definitely just keep believing, keep praying, and keep your mind in a positive space. And another thing that I was doing was I was thanking God before I even got the approval. So I was thanking God, like, thank you so much for my new apartment. Thank you so much for helping me to move. Thank you so much for bettering my life and my situation. and that's really what I think helped me. And I think that because he saw that I was trying so hard to believe, he made it happen. Even when I was like, even when there were moments where I was just like, oh my gosh, this is not gonna happen when I want it to, I would pray and I would be like, please God, give me the faith that I need to keep going. Please help me to just keep believing. Right now I just feel so weak. I feel like I just can't take this anymore. And every day he would help me to believe more and be stronger mentally. So that's basically what I want you guys to come out of this with. And because it's the beginning of the year, I feel like this is also a good takeaway to whatever plans you want to have for the year. So if there's something that you really want to work on, or if there's something that you have been working on that you want to see come to pass, I think this is a good learning lesson, especially for me. I'm definitely going to carry this lesson on throughout my life. And it happened like at the right timing. I was able to move in exactly when I wanted to. I didn't have to wait. And I was also praying against delays, rejection, what else, stagnancy. I was praying against those things because there are evil forces in the world that are working against us just as much as we are working towards something. There's something that doesn't want to see us succeed, so we have to make sure that we are praying against those things. And I think that's also what helped me. And you just have to believe and know that no matter what, God is working things out for your good. Like the bad things that happen in our life, they are not because God wants to like torture us or anything. So I hope that this video made sense and encouraged some of you guys, and I'm excited for more of the moving content that I'll be posting on this channel. So if you guys are new to my channel, definitely hit that subscribe button down below, and also give this video a thumbs up because it really does help my channel out a lot. I'm gonna be trying to film a lot more frequent and posting more this year, so stay tuned for more videos. And if there's anything that you guys want to see from me, definitely let me know. I already do have a few videos that I have filmed that just need to be edited, and then I could post them. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video.